All right, Sports Fury Nation, the time has come. The playoffs. We're in the playoffs, guys. Playoffs. And joining us to make our AFC predictions and picks is none other than UCF Jaguar. What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Man, it just seemed like just yesterday when I was on you guys' show doing my pick'ems, I went 12-4 that week, 75%, and getting 75%'s got me a college degree. So happy to be back and happy to predict more futures.
Hey, listen, I want to ask you, UCF, since that we've had you on here, what was it, a couple of weeks ago?
Yep.
Your Jaguars, man, they're in the playoffs.
Woo!
Congratulations,
Congratulations,
dude.
buddy.
And I want to ask you your thoughts about the Jaguars making it into the playoffs for the first time in I don't know how long.
When was it? How long ago was it? 2000?
It was 2007 the last time. And it was 1999 when we last hosted a playoff game. And oh my God, it is unreal. Like, I don't even remember what it's like to really be in a playoffs. I mean, last time I was in a playoffs, I was in junior high. Like, since then, I graduated high school and college. Now I'm, like, working full-time. And, like, just, like, the amount of, like, growing up I've done since then. But
you're a big boy
crazy.
now.
He was a little pup, and now he's a big Jaguar.
He's a big boy.
I was a little cub Jaguar. Now I'm a full-grown. But yeah, I mean, I'm so pumped up. I'll be at the game this Sunday where we play the Bills, and I'm so excited, and I really want to see what kind of run the Jaguars can potentially make.
Hell yeah, man! We're excited for you, dude.
Seriously.
I mean, this Jaguars team is looking pretty damn good, especially on the defensive end.
They're like the true underdog, right? Like, how can you not root for them?
Well, Bills are an underdog too. So
that's true.
All right, but let's get into our AFC picks, guys. We're going to start off with the first game in the AFC Wild Card weekend, and that's going to be the Titans at the Chiefs. Titans are the 5th seed.
Yep.
Chiefs are the 4th seed. It's going to be playing in Arrowhead. Titans, UCF, they're your division rival. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass to see these guys in the playoffs as well. We're going to kick it off to you first. What do you see happening in this Titans-Chiefs game? Do you think the Titans go into Arrowhead and somehow come out with an upset victory? They did. They did get a victory last year in Week 15.
That's true.
They went into Arrowhead and won.
Yeah.
Could it happen again?
Well, like, the thing is, everyone's, like, projecting this game as being basically, like, a blowout. Like, I think, like, Chiefs are, 8 or 9 point, like, favorites or something like that. It's kind of ridiculous. And, I mean, the Titans, they did a lot better these last couple of weeks, kind of playing in desperation mode. I mean, they were throwing punches with a team like the Los Angeles Rams. And, their backs were against the wall against the Jaguars, had to win, and they won and got in. And then, now they earned the 5th seed in the playoffs. 2 AFC South teams representing, which is very, very rare for somebody to say. Usually it's like the butt end of whatever team sucked the least would get in. But this game, it's in Arrowhead. Both teams are playing a little better, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chiefs. I mean, they're at home. It seems like their offense is getting it going a little bit. I do still worry about the Titans' offense. And one big reason why I don't want to pick the Titans to win this is because of Mike Mularkey. The guy is a terrible coach. I mean, I think Mariota's a great quarterback, but if you look at his numbers, he has more interceptions than touchdowns. And this was a guy that was so efficient in college. I remember his first training camp, it took him so long to throw his first interception. And I don't think the guy's a good coach. I think the guy's regressing. And I don't think you're going to win a playoff game with a quarterback playing bad and a coach that doesn't really know what he's doing. So I'll go with the Chiefs at home.
All right, so UCF Jaguar, he's going with the Chiefs. I will be going with the Chiefs as well. I mean, this is an Arrowhead, man.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Titans, they're going to be without DeMarco Murray?
Yes, DeMarco Murray. He was out last week. He had something wrong with his knee.
So they lost that 1-2 punch that that they had. Yeah. And the Chiefs, I mean, they haven't given up more than 15 points at home since Week 8. So the Titans, this is a team that already struggles to put up points on the board.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it here in the playoffs in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be able to keep up with like Kareem Hunt and fucking Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, Alex Smith. Speaking of Kareem Hunt, hey, he's got the rushing title now.
That's true.
He played Week 17. Yep. He asked for it. They put him in. He got the rushing title. Had Todd Gurley played Week 17, maybe things would have been different. But Kareem Hunt, he is a rushing title.
Rookie won it 2 years in a row.
Rookie did. That's pretty crazy. Wow. So I got the Chiefs winning this one. I mean, I don't think this is going to be like a really close game. Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah, how can you go with the Titans here? The Titans have been so inconsistent, like UCF said. Their offense, what are they ranked? 23rd?
23rd overall
23rd offense, man. And last year, Marcus Mariota looked so good, right? For that good 5-week stretch, he was doing better than any quarterback. He was up there with Tom Brady last year for a good 5-week stretch until he got hurt. And even their running game has been a little inconsistent with Murray, too. Now, Derrick Henry's been a little sporadic off and on, so I'm just thinking about that. How can the Titans keep up with the Chiefs? I don't think they can.
They would have to make a lot of mistakes. I mean, the Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a pretty decent defense, 13th in total defense right there. But
come on, you got all these weapons.
You're asking a little too much there.
I mean, the way the Titans beat the Jags last week was basically the Jags just committing not penalties, but turnovers. I mean, we got a turnover like on a muck punt. They basically stripped the dude Keelan Cole running a slant. They basically stripped him and got the ball in favorable territory. They got 6 points off of that. A lot of their points just came from the other team setting them up, then getting in a good position to get a turnover and capitalize on it. And are they going to be able to force Kansas City to make some mistakes? Alex Smith does not fumble very often. They have some pretty reliable playmakers on their offensive side as opposed to the Jaguars, who are led by a lot of young dudes. So we'll see.
It would have to be an absolute epic collapse by the Kansas City Chiefs.
But I don't see it. The Chiefs collapsed already. They already did their collapse of the season, right?
Yeah, for a good stretch.
Yeah, they did. A good stretch. I'm not going to lie. But now they've gotten it going. They're looking pretty damn good. Their offense is finally looking down the field to Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. Goodness gracious. And they keep feeding Kareem Hunt like they have. This team is very, very dangerous in this playoffs.
So, 5th seeded Titans are going to be going down. We're all unanimous. Chiefs will win here at home this wild card weekend.
Yep.
So, all unanimous on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
All right, going into the Sunday game in the AFC. Mm-hmm. We have the Buffalo Bills, 6th seed. They snuck in. They got it. They got it in with help by the Bengals, who defeated the Baltimore Ravens. Did you guys see the clips of the fans? In the locker room of the players.
Oh, that was awesome. I loved it.
That was fantastic. This is a team that haven't made the playoffs since 1999.
The longest drought from any professional sport team.
And let me say this, the Buffalo Bills fans, they're great. These guys are awesome. I've seen them in documentaries. I mean, there's documentaries made about this fan base.
Die hard.
They travel well. They are awesome. Bills Mafia, you guys are great. And I'm happy for the Buffalo Bills. I'm happy that they made it in. If you're not happy about the Bills being in the playoffs, you're probably a grade A asshole.
Completely.
But they're on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars, UCF's Jaguars, who are the 3 seed and the winners of the AFC South. So we're going to just kick it off to UCF Jaguar and have him break down this game and give us his pick.
Man, there are honestly so many storylines behind this game. I mean, first of all, huge playoff droughts. The Jaguars haven't been in a playoff since 2007.
That's right.
The Bills haven't been in it since 1999. And believe it or not, the last time the Jaguars hosted a playoff game was in 1999. You also have Doug Marrone, his return. Buffalo fans hate Doug Marrone because he opted out of that one contract when he was there. A lot of media just perceived him as a bully. And, usually when your coach leaves you like that, I won't blame him, let the door hit you on the way out. You know what I mean? You also have Jalen Ramsey up against his old college teammate, Kelvin Benjamin, who he won a national championship with. We all know Jalen Ramsey likes to talk a lot of shit, so is he going to do it with his former teammate? You also have Marcel Darius, the guy that we traded, got from the Bills in the middle of the season.
That's true.
It's just crazy, all the storylines behind this game. The Jaguars are playing at home, 1 o'clock, a time that they're used to playing at. Luckily, we don't have to play in the cold just yet, but it's a really, really interesting matchup just because the Jaguars, their defensive strength is against the pass game, and the Bills don't really have much of a pass game. I believe they're 28th or something like that in the NFL. Tyrod Taylor, he doesn't really turn the ball over much. They don't like to pass the ball much, but what they do is they like to have that run game with LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy is definitely one of the most underrated running backs in the NFL. Yeah. However, there's a chance that he may not play this game, and if he does play, he's going to be gimpy because he got carted out the field last game with a high ankle, with a high ankle sprain, but an ankle sprain. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand, like, he's might be playing, but at the same time, if you have a sprained ankle, I know what it's like. This dude is a lateral runner. It's gonna hurt him. Like, he's gonna be limited. Like, no matter how good he is, he's gonna be limited. But we'll see just how well he plays. But I mean, how am I gonna go against anyone else with my Jaguars? I mean, they're playing at home. Defensive played really well in the NFL. Leonard Fournette has we have a really good run game. I feel like if the Jaguars were to get up 10 this game and force the Bills to try to start passing the ball against our elite duo of cornerbacks, then it'll be some trouble for them. So I got to take my Jaguars. How can I take anybody else?
Well, I want to ask you this, man. The Jacksonville Jaguars, in the last 2 games, you guys lost to the 49ers and you lost to the Titans. 2 games I felt you guys should have definitely won.
Should have.
And speaking of that running game, I mean, the running game hasn't looked all that hot as of recently.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that needs to get back on track. Is that going to get on track here against the Buffalo Bills when it matters the most?
Well, I mean, let's hope so. But yeah, I mean, you're right. The run game has been very good. I don't know if it's like O-line or what it is. I mean, the passing game has been very balanced with this. I mean, losing Marquise Lee was huge for us because now Blake Bortles is throwing to basically 3 rookie wide receivers. We got Allen Hurns back, which was good. And yeah, I mean, the last 2 games just haven't been very good. I mean, granted, we went to San Francisco. I think the team just did not play very focused. I think it was much like the Arizona game where they went over there, played like the days ago. And, it's not like they went over there and only the offense did bad, but the defense also did bad. And the defense, when the defense comes ready to play, they don't do very bad. And when they came ready to play this week against the Titans, they did really, really well. I mean, they had 1 explosive touchdown come off of a Derrick Henry 76-yard pass. Other than that, all their points were basically getting to them. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I was going to say, what about Blake Bortles, man? I mean, when we had you on here a couple weeks ago, his play was looking a lot better, right? I mean, he looked a lot more comfortable. He was making reads very well. Yeah. But in the last 2 weeks, I don't know what happened with that. I mean, a lot of turnovers there with Blake Bortles.
With Blake right now, I think a huge part was losing Marquise Lee. I mean, they lost him in the Houston game, and granted, in that Houston game, we were lighting up the scoreboard. I mean, we're just with how drained Houston is with injuries. I mean, we just kind of threw it all over them. But then in the 49ers game, he definitely did take a step back. He threw 3 interceptions, which wasn't good. But one thing that I did like was in the first half, after throwing a pick 6, he came back and basically tied up the game. Usually we see with Blake, if he throws an interception, it just starts piling on. He just does terrible. But, he was able to get this team, back and tied 16-all. We'll see Blake this week. It was just this offense doesn't play very well in the cold weather. I mean, D.D. Westbrook had a wide open touchdown catch that he dropped. He alligator armed a couple of them, and it's just hurting not having a very good receiving core right now and him constantly being under pressure. Our left tackle Cam Robinson was out. Orakpo was getting in there, getting a lot of pressure, and most of his balls were being contested he was getting pressure when he threw. So we'll see what Blake. I mean, the thing I worry about with Blake is he's never really been able to put a team on his back and carry us to victory. But if you have a good defense, if the run game gets going, then the pass attack should be a lot better. So we'll see.
Now, is Cam Robinson coming back?
I think he's out for this game.
He's out?
I think
he's questionable. He's questionable right now. He hasn't been declared out, but we'll see. I mean, they don't have a Orakpo. The Bills don't have an Orakpo type of defensive end pass rusher, true. So we'll see what happens with that.
Now, with my pick, I'm definitely going with the Jacksonville Jaguars here, but to say that I'm completely confident, I mean, not 100%. I'm more like 80, 90% sure.
90%?
Yeah. I mean, the Buffalo Bills, they just don't have enough offensive power. I mean, even if, LaShawn McCoy, even if he does play, like UCF said, he's not going to be 100%.
Yeah.
And their passing game is just abysmal. They're 31st in passing, and they have one of the worst worst pass protections in the league.
Yep.
And that is great for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who that D-line is going to eat them up for lunch all fucking
Campbell.
day.
Yeah,
mean, but the Bills, don't underestimate this team. This is a team that's starving. They're hungry for this. They are excited for this. Seeing the defensive tackle Kyle Williams celebrating, this guy, he is ready to explode in this game. So, I'm glad that these two teams are playing. I don't get how some people, some fans out there are, looking at this game, seeing the Bills and Jags and saying, "Oh, what a bullshit fucking game." I think it's fucking great, and I'm excited to watch this game.
Yeah.
I think it's great for the NFL. I think it's great for these two teams, the droughts that they've had between them both. But I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This defense, to me, is the best defense going into the playoffs. It's good enough to get them far in the playoffs. Yeah. So I'm going with the Jags. I think Fournette definitely will get his shit going here. He had 3 of his worst rushing games in the last 6 games. 25 yards against the Cardinals. That's not going to happen here. It can't happen here in the wild card weekend. And so I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning and winning big.
Yeah, I'm right there with both of you. The Jags, they should win.
Don't underestimate this Bills team.
Exactly.
Don't come in here making mental errors.
Exactly.
Because this Bills team is ready to pounce on that shit.
And that's always been a thing with young NFL teams, right? They always go into games sometimes underestimating their team, their opponent, and not coming prepared.
Look, this Bills team, this year, they went into Atlanta and they got to win.
Yeah.
They went into Arrowhead and they got to win.
Yeah.
So you can't sleep on this team.
Oh, no, definitely not. And now this is the thing. I think this week, like you said, Leonard Fournette, he's going to get it going this week. The Bills are, what are they, 29th against the run. That's not that good. They are trash against the run. They were one of the best until they made that trade, Darius, away, and then all of a sudden they just went to trash.
Mm-hmm.
So,
then the Jaguars got a lot better from it. So funny how it works.
It's weird. But yeah, so definitely I don't think the Bills are going to be able to stop them. Tyrod Taylor, he's not one of those quarterbacks that's built to drive the ball down the field. Like, he'll take deep shots.
Yeah.
Well, he used to do that with Sammy Watkins when he had him, but he's more of a check down guy to running backs, to tight ends. There was a game where he had no completions to a receiver at all.
Right.
He'll throw just tight ends all day long.
Are you kind of rooting for Tyrod Taylor? Like, I wouldn't be upset if we lose this pick and the Bills win this game. I know UCF.
I know he won't.
He won't say that.
Don't say that up in here.
But hey, I would be happy as shit for Tyrod Taylor, who got benched earlier in the year by Sean McDermott, the rookie head coach.
Yeah. He's definitely got something to prove, right?
So I would be excited for this Bills team if they came out with this fucking victory.
Yeah.
But
Blake Bortles got benched in the preseason. You're not feel good for him.
That's true, man. No, I love Tyrod Taylor. I feel bad for how he's been treated for the Buffalo Bills, but he took him to the playoffs.
But how can the Jaguars lose this game if UCF is going to be there? He's going to be at this game.
He's going to be there.
Oh, if they lose, let me tell you, they are going to get a recap of the game. It's not going to be very happy. That's for sure. These Jaguar fans, they don't want to see me upset. These Jaguar players, they don't want to see me calling them out.
No, I don't think the Jags. It's just they got everything going for them. They have good defense, right? They have the number 1 rushing game, right?
Yep.
Against one of the worst rush defenses, how can you not? And Blake Bortles, he's very athletic himself, so he can still make plays.
Yeah.
I think they showed a stat where he's number 1 in yards per carry right now.
Yeah, I just really think that if the Jaguars get up 10, and force them to start trying to pass the ball and catch up,
right.
If trying to throw against our cornerbacks, that's just going to be, turnover city, and a team that's not used to throwing interceptions, who knows how they're going to respond to that. So.
We've seen elite quarterbacks just absolutely get their asses handed to them by this defense.
Yeah.
By the secondary.
Yeah. Exactly. So Tyrod Taylor, no offense, I like Tyrod Taylor. The only thing you got to be worried about is him making plays with his legs. That's the biggest thing with Tyrod Taylor. But I think the Jags have a good enough defense. Their linebackers quick enough. I think they'll be able to slow down Tyrod Taylor. Just put a spy on him. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah. So everyone who's watching this right now, you want to see the recap, whether it's a good one or it's a bad one. If you haven't already, do yourself a damn favor. He's one of our favorite YouTubers. Go subscribe to UCF Jaguar. You'll find the link to his channel right there in the description box down below. And, man, we're excited for you, man. Any last thoughts going into this game, going into this wild card weekend?
Yeah, and also one little thing is 1 hour, about 45 minutes to an hour before the game, I will be doing a live pregame from inside the stadium.
Oh, sweet!
And, I'll be doing that. I'll be posting the vlog of the game. Hopefully it's a good vlog if we win. So, yeah, definitely join. It'll be a lot of fun because there's not going to be any games going on during then. So
Nope. So
awesome,
we'll definitely be watching that.
We'll
you guys go ahead and watch that too.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to his channel, hit that notification, and hey, we appreciate you coming on here.
Man.
And what are you gonna chant? What are you gonna yell out? What do you guys yell out when you guys win? It's something
we gonna be yelling Duval. Let's go.
All right, so that does it for our AFC predictions and picks. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
Good luck to everybody's team. Good luck to UCF
Jags,
Jaguar and the Jags. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Guys. It was a blast.
Hell yeah.
Always, man. Always.
All right, guys. Now it's time to move on to the NFC.
Oh, shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so that does it with the AFC. We're done with the AFC.
We're done?
For the wild card weekend.
Right.
We're moving on to the NFC, where it might really get interesting.
This is going to get interesting.
And joining us to make our predictions and picks for the NFC wild card weekend is none other than the King Dingbat himself, Philly.500. Welcome, man.
Yo, everybody, how you doing? King Dingbat reporting for duties. Thank you for having me. You said playoffs, NFC playoffs. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Man, NFC.
I'm excited.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the NFC is so much more interesting than the AFC.
Yeah.
It's just so wide open here in the NFC. I think like anybody can win it.
And almost every team. I think this is going to be the most exciting NFC playoffs that we've seen in a long time.
What do you think, Philly?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is going to be very exciting. I think with up-and-coming teams like the Rams, and then you have veteran quarterbacks like Drew Brees in there. I think anything can happen. I really do. Hopefully it'll go the way of my team, but yeah, I think it's wide open.
Well, hey, talking about your team, your Eagles have a first-round bye, number 1 seed in the NFC. That's painful for me to say, but hey, man, what do you think about them, man?
Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's the Wentz getting hurt has seemed to really take out, some of the juice, especially for some fans and that kind of thing. We have home field, so my feeling is with home field, with the weather the way it is, if the defense can play good and Foles can play decent, a lot better than he's played the last 2 weeks, and Doug Peterson can be ahead and coach a good game, I think the Eagles still could come out of the NFC. But I am concerned about Foles and his play the last few weeks for sure.
Philly, has it bothered you at all? Because I'm pretty sure you've heard a lot of naysayers out there talking about the Philadelphia Eagles are probably the most beatable number 1 seed we've seen in a while. Does that bother you?
Yeah.
Does that get to you?
Yeah, that bothers me a lot. It pisses me off, frankly. But at the same time, when Foles plays the way he does, and they look like they did against Dallas, not so much when they took the starters out, but, when Foles was in and even the week before against the Raiders, I mean, they're making the argument for those people. But I believe that once the playoffs start, this team will right the ship. And I look forward to shutting those people up.
Well, hey, y'all got a bye week, so y'all got 2 weeks to prepare and get everything together. So that's probably the best case scenario for y'all in this.
That is.
But before we get into the divisional round next week, let's take care of the wild card weekend.
And let's see who they have to play.
Yeah, your potential opponents for next week. We'll start off with our first game here in the NFC, which will be the Falcons, the 6th seed wild card team, on the road against the Los Angeles Rams, who are the 3 seed. This, to me, is probably the best game of this weekend, the wild card weekend. Yep. Because I think this Falcons team, this is one of the most talented teams in the NFL, I think. Offensively, they are 8th overall offense, 9th overall defense, so they're pretty well balanced. I think Falcons and Vikings are probably the most balanced teams in the NFC. But, they haven't really gotten things going in 2017 season. Last year, Matt Ryan, he was the MVP. He had 4,944 yards with 38 touchdowns. This year, 4,095 with only 20 touchdowns. So, not the juggernaut that they were last year offensively, but defensively pretty good. But Philly.500, do you think the Falcons, the wild card team can go into Los Angeles and possibly pull off the upset here because the Rams are looking really good.
Yep.
They have they got Todd Gurley who could be MVP.
Yeah.
Jared Goff who could be comeback player of the year. Sean McVay probably coach of the year. What do you see going on in this one?
I think the Falcons, when you look at a team that, the roster they have on defense, on the offense, I think they're very talented. I think they may be one of the most talented rosters in the NFC or in the league, totally. Yeah. But for whatever reason, they haven't played well. I think it's personally the way they lost the Super Bowl. I think that stuck with them all year long. And now they're in the playoffs. If they're hitting on all cylinders, yeah, they can do damage. They can beat the Rams. Now, do I think they'll beat the Rams? No. I'm still going to go with the Rams. I think with Gurley, I really like McVay. I think he's a great coach. I think he's going to have that team ready to play, and I think that they'll do – I think the Rams will win this in the end. But I will say, you don't know how Goff is going to be in his first playoff game. That's an unknown. So that could make it very interesting. But I'm still going to take the Rams to win.
And the Falcons, I mean, they're 2-5 against playoff teams this year. 2-5. They beat the Falcons. They beat the Panthers.
Or Saints, you mean?
I mean, the Saints, I'm sorry.
The
Saints and the Panthers.
Well, they have beat themselves. But
that's it. They're 2-5 against the playoff teams.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Falcons.
What are you thinking?
Actually, you go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay.
So, Philly.500, he's got the Rams.
He's got Rams.
Who you got?
Oh, man, this is a tough one for me. I think this could be a great game. I don't think it is. It's going to be a great game. The Falcons, this all comes down to which Falcons team is going to show up, right? Because I think, like y'all both have said, the Falcons are very talented. Going into the season, I thought they were the team that had the least amount of holes, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, they've been inconsistent. So which Falcons team is going to show up? If this Falcons team plays full go, hitting all cylinders, I think they can beat anybody in the league, in my opinion. But the issue is they haven't always played that great. I'm looking at this Rams, Falcons, Rams, man. I'm feeling Rams this one. I think they're going to be more consistent. Their offense is number 1 in the league in scoring. I don't think that the Falcons can be consistent enough to keep up with that kind of offense, right? And so that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. The Falcons, I'm going with consistency. Can the Falcons win? Definitely, hands down, no doubt in my mind. They can beat anybody. But how can I trust them to show up when they don't show up every game themselves? Okay. I got to go Rams. I got to go Todd Gurley, monster.
Man.
But my biggest concern, I will say this, my biggest concern for the Rams, and he said, how is Jared Goff going to play in the playoffs? But also, how are they going to play when they took a whole week off? This is a very young team.
They rest a lot of their stars.
You don't want to lose that momentum, and I felt like maybe that might hurt a younger team because how do they know how to handle that kind of rest? Right? Handle that kind of break? So I'm a little concerned, but I'm still going to go with the Rams with just going off consistency.
Okay. Yeah. So Philly's got the Rams. You got the Rams.
Yeah.
And I absolutely get that. I mean, this is a team that won the NFC East.
Yeah.
I mean, West. They took it away from the Seahawks. They took it away from the Seahawks. Yeah. Great. I mean, one of the biggest turnarounds we've ever seen from a franchise. Seriously. They went from worst to first in that division. They got Sean McVay. He turned this team around. He is my coach of the year.
Oh,
Todd Gurley. Yeah. Carson Wentz. He was my MVP, but he went down. That's gonna take in consideration. Mm-hmm. And Todd Gurley just went off.
Yeah,
I think he is now the MVP. Jared Goff. I mean, this is a guy that we mocked last season.
Everybody thought he was a bust.
Season. But now, you got to take him serious. This dude is amazing.
Yeah.
So, but having said all that, I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons.
What?
I'm going with the Falcons.
Get out of here.
Give me the Falcons.
You got me good. You got me good.
They're going on the road here, and they're going to beat the Rams, and let me break it down for you.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, break it down, Josh.
So, the Atlanta Falcons, this is a fast defense. Deion Jones, Vic Beasley. I mean, they got Desmond Trufant out there.
Yeah.
So, here's what you got to do if you're the Atlanta Falcons, all right? The Los Angeles Rams, they want to run it down your fucking throat with Todd Gurley. They want to dump it off to Todd Gurley, those screen passes that they like to do for like 5 yards, 7 yards, get the little chunks. Sometimes he breaks it off and he goes all the way. He takes it to the house.
He's done a lot.
But you know what? I think they're going to have I don't think they're going to have that much success doing that with Gurley in the passing game, because the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to close that shit up real quick. Okay. So if the Atlanta Falcons can just get off early, now you're going to make Jared Goff have to beat you. And Jared Goff, impressive season. And I like Cooper Kupp. I like what they got. Yeah. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons defense. I'm going to favor this here. Jared Goff, he's probably going to get picked off by Desmond Trufant or Keanu Neal, the safety. So make Jared Goff beat you. Take away Gurley in the running game by getting up early in this game. And that's something that the Atlanta Falcons could do. They still have the 8th overall offense. The Los Angeles Rams, they have 19th overall defense. And they are they're 13th against the pass, 28th against the run in yards. Okay. So, hey, the Falcons, hey, they got Devontae Freeman, they got Coleman, they got a good 1-2 punch there. Yeah. So get that going. I think they will. So establish, getting out early in the game. Make Jared Goff have to be the one to beat you. And even when using Todd Gurley in the passing game, like I said, I think that defense is fast enough to just knock that shit off with Todd Gurley in the passing game. So I think this Falcons defense, they've been the story of the Falcons for 2017, especially in these last few weeks. Yeah, I really liked what I saw from them in Week 17. Overall, they just look fired up. Like they look like they finally are awake. Like they get it. Let's go and let's kick some ass. And this is a team, like I said, is one of the most balanced teams in the NFL, along with the Minnesota Vikings, I would say. Okay. And this is a dangerous team. They're ready. They're ready to go. They're going to go to the Los Angeles Rams. This is an inexperienced team with Sean McVay, with Jared Goff, with Todd Gurley, Cooper Kupp, all these guys. Okay. Phenomenal season, but they're going to lose here at home to the Atlanta Falcons.
Wow, that would be something, man. You take a bomb to the NFC playoff picture right away with that. I love
Falcons,
it. That's something.
Yeah, they've allowed the 8th fewest points, man. That defense is legit, guys.
Oh yeah, I do like the Falcons. Just which one's going to show up?
Yeah.
I think the good Falcons are going to show up. The fired up, dirty birds.
I like the pick.
So
I like it.
So I'm going Falcons.
Are you going upset? I like it. Okay.
Getting the road win here on Wild Card Weekend.
Already making a bold statement, Josh. I like it.
What a way to start off the 2018 season. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
For a year, anyways.
All right, so Philly.500, Sean, they got the Los Angeles Rams. Yep. I got the Atlanta Falcons. Mm-hmm. And that takes care of our first game in the NFC. That would be on the Saturday. Now, going into the Sunday game, we have the Carolina Panthers, who are the 5th seed. Yeah. And they are on the road against divisional rival New Orleans Saints, who are the divisional winners of the NFC South. They're the 4th seed. Mm-hmm. Man, Philly.500, the Panthers, they're going to the Saints, where they are 7-1 in the Superdome. They've only lost the Patriots all year. Man, do you think the Panthers have a shot against
the Panthers have been swept already by the Saints this year.
Yeah.
They lost twice already.
You know that saying, it's hard to beat a team twice, let alone 3 times in a season.
Yeah, well, like I said, the Saints are one of the teams that when my team has to match up, they're the ones that worry me. They really do. I mean, Drew Brees, that defense has played so much better this year. And Kamara and that running game, they're a tough team. Now, they're playing in New Orleans. New Orleans is a tough place to play. Tough place to play. Now, here's the thing. You're playing a division opponent that you beat twice. I think they scored 30 points on them 2 times in both losses, right? It's very hard to beat a divisional opponent 3 times in a row. Yep. It's just very hard. It doesn't happen. And a defense who has pride in themselves, that has allowed 30 points plus a game in both games. And you're also going against Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton, he could be all over. He could be a whiny baby, frustrated, looks horrible. Yep. But when he's hitting on all cylinders, he could be an MVP type player who's been to the Super Bowl, who's been in the playoff games. So I'm taking the Carolina Panthers in the upset this week because it's just too hard to win 3 times. Now, New Orleans is the better team. New Orleans should win. Everything is pointing to New Orleans winning. It wouldn't surprise me. But there's just something like deep inside, like this little voice, a dingbat voice, this little dingbat on the shoulder, and he's saying, and he's poking me, going, "You can't beat a team 3 times. It's very hard. It's very hard. Carolina. I'm gonna listen to the dingbat, and I'm gonna take Carolina."
Well, you are king dingbat, so I hope you listen to the dingbat.
Well, I love this. I love it because in the other NFC game, I picked the upset. Philly.500 is picking the upset here. He's going with the Carolina Panthers over the New Orleans Saints. Yes, you're right. It is hard to beat a division opponent, 3 times in the season. Yeah. The Carolina Panthers, they lost twice. Maybe they gut check the Saints. And the Saints, I mean, they lost to the Bucs in Week 17.
Oh, my God. That was shocking. That was shocking.
But, Sean, do you have the Panthers upsetting the Saints?
Man, it's tough. It's tough because it is a divisional game, per se. It's playoffs, but it's still a divisional game. Playoffs. These teams know each other very well. But to me, though, if the Panthers came out and really impressed me in Week 17, the Saints, they lost to the Bucs, which is very shocking. Mm-hmm. But the Panthers didn't really do that much for my confidence in them in Week 17. Right? I thought they were going to beat the Falcons. You did too. Mm-hmm. And they come out and just get their ass whooped to me. The Falcons totally dominated that game. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, I don't know what this is. And New Orleans. New Orleans has a great offense, right? They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. They Drew Brees, but yet their running game is what? 5th in rushing, right? Or no? 5th in rushing.
Yeah.
So this Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, Sean Payton knows how to utilize these weapons. And I don't think Carolina has enough to stop them. I don't think they have enough to slow them down. Even with they have great linebackers, Thomas Davis and Kuechly, but I don't think either one of those guys, no discredit to them, they can't stop Kamara. Nobody's been able to stop Kamara. Yeah. And I think Saints are going to take care of business at home. They lost in Week 2 against the Patriots. They haven't lost since then.
Yep. At
home, and we were at that game.
Right.
I think Saints, Drew Brees, I know Drew Brees has had some little bit inconsistency, but they're going to rely on this running game, and it's going to take them. They still have a good defense. Let's not forget the Saints have a decent defense. So
yeah. So I have really nothing more to add. The Carolina Panthers are going to lose, and they're going to lose by, I think, by at least 10 points.
I do want to add this real quick. Saints cannot come in here thinking, "Oh, well, we beat them twice. We definitely beat them again."
Oh, they won't.
If they do, that's when you're going to fuck up and lose.
I'm very confident they won't do that. Sean Payton's not going to do that. Drew Brees is not going to do that.
Yeah.
And Alvin Kamara, he doesn't even know better. This dude's a rookie. He's going to go out there balling, man. Him and Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
I am loving this Saints. There are a juggernaut right here. Mm-hmm. They could go all the way. Who knows? But tune in. We'll let you know.
Out.
But this team is going to beat the Panthers. I'm going Saints.
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans should win this game. Every advantage is on their side. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something about having to beat a team 3 times. The other team's got to have some pride. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this is purely a gut pick for me. It's purely a gut feeling.
Sean, we're going with the Saints, but what do the Panthers have to do to beat the Saints? You got to get to Drew Brees, right? And then you got to create turnovers, and that's something that this Panthers defense is capable of doing.
Yeah.
And then you got to try to match their running backs with Jonathan Stewart, and most importantly, Christian McCaffrey is phenomenal in the passing game.
Yeah.
So
I think this is all going to come down to Cam Newton, right? I think this.
Oh, of course.
I think
he is obviously.
He's
still the offense.
That's the most obvious thing I've said all day. But I think it's going to come down to him being able to make plays and make. This is the thing. The Saints have a pretty decent defense. Not a great, but they're good, right? Marshawn Lattimore is over there, defensive rookie of the year in my opinion. He's played great. I just don't think the Panthers they need to keep the Saints off the field. That's their best bet, right? That's going to mean run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And it's going to have to be a good mixture, though. Cam Newton's going to have to make them respect his ability to run and then hand it off to McCaffrey or Jonathan Stewart.
Convert third downs.
Yes, stay on the field, long drives, 10 plays.
Look for Greg Olsen. I mean,
Greg
look for
Olsen,
Cam Newton running out himself.
He's only had one good game since he's been back. He's been a little bit up and down.
So he might be due for a big game.
No.
Yeah,
I think Carolina needs 2 turnovers. I think if they can get 2 turnovers and score, they got a shot. Now, maybe Kamara being a rookie in a big game, maybe he fumbles or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's no – like I said, everything is pointing to New Orleans. It's just a gut feeling. Yeah, okay. I don't know. So
I'll say this, though. Even if they get 2 turnovers on Drew Brees and the Saints, the one thing is it's a veteran team. They're not going to let that get to them.
Yeah.
See, that's what scares me about the Panthers.
But if the Panthers,
if they get down,
if they create 2 turnovers, like Philly.500 said, I think then it definitely goes in their favor because now
they got
Cam Newton is gonna be like, here comes Superman.
Well, that's
and he's gonna come out there, you know.
If anything, they gotta take those turnovers and they gotta score touchdowns.
Yeah,
they have to.
No,
if they don't do shit with it,
not field goals.
It doesn't mean anything.
You can't score field goals against Drew Brees. You can't score field goals against Aaron Rodgers. Against Tom Brady. No.
And Cam Newton, he better not have any turnovers because if he gets down, we already know what happens.
Mm-hmm. Can't have field goals against Nick Foles. No, I'm just kidding. You can have field goals all day.
But all right, so Philly.500, he's going with the upset with the Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
Sean and myself, we are going with the New Orleans Saints at home. Now, before we end this, Philly.500, which of these 4 teams, I want to know which one would you rather see in the divisional round for the Philadelphia Eagles, and which one scares you the most out of all these 4 teams in the wild card weekend?
New Orleans scares me the most.
Okay,
maybe that's why you picked them to lose.
Maybe I have to fully accept that. You know what I mean? It's a hard situation for me. But New Orleans scares me because of Drew Brees and the way that they run the ball. Even coming into cold weather like Philly, they scare me. The second team would be the Rams. I think the Rams are a pretty good team, and with Todd Gurley, I think having lost to the Eagles, I think they want to beat the Eagles and play them again. The team that scares me the least, I know this is bad, is Minnesota. I don't trust Casey Keenum. I don't trust him in the playoffs, and I think that's the one team that we both have backup quarterbacks. So I feel that if Minnesota has to come to Philly, the Eagles will be able to keep Keenum down. And it will be a defensive battle, but I think the Eagles could win in Philly against Minnesota.
Well, hey, y'all won't play them until the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens in the next round. So as of right now, if the games go out, you pick.
Yeah.
The Falcons will be playing the Eagles in the next round. Because Falcons are the bottom seed.
Right.
So if they win, but according to us, it'd be either the Panthers for you or the Saints in my scenario.
So which team would get you to the conference championship? Would it be the Falcons or the Panthers that you would be more confident against? Beat those Vikings.
Well, if Atlanta goes in, let's say, and beats the Rams, then that's kind of scary, right? Especially if they're hitting on all cylinders. We already beat Carolina this year in Carolina. Yeah. So I have a little confidence in that. So I would probably say Carolina would scare me the least, followed by Atlanta.
Oh, so that's that little, that little inner voice.
Yeah.
Let the Panthers win. Play against them in the divisional round. Move on to the Vikings.
Yeah.
I told you it was that would be the best voice.
That would be the best route. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that would be the best route.
I agree.
To getting closer to that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But that's not why I'm picking Carolina. I'm picking Carolina because of the three beating a team 3 times in division.
Yeah.
I think that's hard.
No, that is tough. That is tough. You don't see that happen very often. My Cowboys did pull it off once. It was against the Eagles.
Always trying to bring up the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
It was against the Eagles.
Against us. Huh?
Yeah, we played them week 17, then we played them the first week of the wild card. That's the only reason I was at that wild card game. It was crazy.
And you also, I believe, beat the Giants twice one year and then lost to them in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, so it goes both ways. You know, I know how hard it is. I know how sometimes easy it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
The division games are tough. Sometimes you can throw everything out in a division game, and they just go at it. So
they know each other very well.
Do I accept maybe it's a little bit biased? I who knows? Maybe I am. I'm a dingbat. Maybe. Just maybe. But I got this feeling Carolina. So I'm sticking with Carolina.
You know what, though? I think no matter what, we're going to be in for a treat this wild card weekend. I'm so pumped for these playoffs.
Yeah.
This is going to be great. It's probably going to be the best playoffs we've probably seen.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm so glad we're streaming for these games because this is going to be so much fun. All these games, especially NFC, can go either way.
So you guys make sure to tune in. We're going to be streaming for every single playoff game all the way to the Super Bowl. And everyone watching right now, if you haven't done so already, I don't know what you're thinking. Go subscribe to Philly.500. The link to his channel is in the description box down below. Go subscribe to him. You wouldn't be disappointed. And Philly.500, we appreciate you jumping on here.
Always a pleasure,
and helping us make these the NFC picks for the wild card weekend, man. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I love it. Love your show. You guys are the best. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, everybody. So you guys let us know who you guys have for the wild card weekend in the comment section down below. Let us know who you guys got winning, and we'll see you guys next week for the divisional round picks. All right, guys. Let's get ready for the payoffs.
Back.
Yeah. All right, later, guys.
Later.